start recording this.
Well, let me get in first before you. Well, whatever. Yeah, however you want to do it.
I
Okay.
like your I like your library, your bookshelf.
Oh yeah. I was a writer before I was a photographer.
Oh, I'm reading. A friend of mine just published a book. I'm reading his book right now. It's pretty
Uh-oh.
interesting.
Let's see. I'm gonna see if it's in draft. It's in drafts. I never sent it. Bad Pam.
That's all
All right.
right. Well, at least
Sent.
it's in drafts. All right.
Okay, I found it.
All right.
You get it soon. Yeah, I'm right. I was writing. I've published 2 books, and I wrote another.
What are your books about?
Well, actually, the first 2 were about Thai art, and they were based on photographs.
Oh, okay.
So those were published by Oxford University Press, which was good. But then I did a novel about uh, human rights abuses in Burma, and
Oh,
it was good. It was good. But
wow.
okay, you should get it now. See if you can find the.
That sounds really, both of that, they sound really, really interesting.
Well, yeah. Well, because I lived in Southeast Asia for
I
such a long.
know.
Yeah, it was really.
Yeah.
But that was another life. Life. Okay.
Yeah.
Has it come in yet?
Fresh this one.
I just sent it.
Not yet.
Come on, yeah. It now it's in my sent, so it should have been out. Sorry about this.
All right. Don't be sorry. There it is. I got it.
Okay.
Let's do
So
screen.
don't even read the stuff because I'm talking about it now anyway, so it's fine. So I like what's happening. I really do. So this one was one of the ones I did with the lens baby and then toned. And so this is after I put plain wax and then colored wax and caustics in different places, which is very obvious. And I did scrape back. I was practicing scraping back, yeah, and I felt better about it, but it's still more opaque than I would like.
Yeah.
Because I want to get down to that toned, photo, especially for the flower. But
okay, wait, let's review translucency techniques. So how do you create more translucency in the wax?
More wax, just more wax
medium, right, with the encaustic paint. And honestly, like I actually think, okay, let's just say like I just think encaustic paint is kind of obnoxious, right? It's sort of like it's like a bull in the china shop, right?
Yeah, it just covered it up and okay.
Right.
Well.
So we either use it to like blanket. I always use the term blanket, right? So it's like if you want to like cover something or create a base of a color, that's sort of what we would use the encaustic paint for. If we're using it for over top of the photo that we want to see the photo, we almost have to use it so diluted, just super diluted. I mean, like almost 9 to 1
Okay.
of wax medium to encaustic paint, right? So that's a big, and it's hard to remember that because you're like, oh, I want to use this. I love it.
Well, and I like the colors.
I know.
So I have another one of these that I could tone and then go through the process, but have it much more diluted. But here's my other question on it. The basis for this was what you showed me the last time with your triptych, and you already had a wax layer and 1 or 2 encaustic washes on, and then you showed me you mixed this beautiful color, really toned down color, and you put that over, and then you scrape back, and I could see the layers, and I just love that look.
Right.
So that's what I was going for.
So this one just doesn't look scraped back enough.
Ah, I scrape. Well, I could, yeah, I could heat it. But I did, I
No,
scraped
don't
it
heat
off.
it. Don't heat it. Scrape it.
No,
Heat it.
I'm not heated. I mean, heated enough so I can scrape it if I'm working outside, because it's
I
possible.
would scrape it inside. I mean, I would
Just
take
go
it
ahead
in.
and do it
I
inside.
Yeah, you can't use if you use the heat gun and you scrape it, you're just gonna ruin it. You're just
Okay.
gonna take all of that paint right off if you use the heat gun and scrape it because the heat gun's gonna loosen the wax too much and you're just gonna scrape it off.
Okay. Okay.
So don't use the heat and the scraping together. It's like it's really either or. Just make
Okay.
it like a decision. So if you have a reduction opportunity where you want to reduce something, you need to make a decision and stick to it. And they're going to be different. I mean, I don't really like using the heat
Because it
to
puddles,
I don't like the puddling at all.
yeah.
I think it's ugly and it's like not my thing.
Mhm.
So I much prefer the scraping, and that's where 90% of the beauty happens for me is in the razor blade scraping. And it is
Mhm.
a challenging technique to say the least
Mhm.
because
It is. I've had
right,
trouble, all along. Even when it was warmer, I was having trouble.
right, but, like, let's see if maybe you're not using the right tool. So, there are a number of razor blades that you can purchase that will create a different, effect for you. Some you can get holders for the razor blades. Do you have the holders?
I had the holders, and I just got
Okay,
the box of 100 straight blades, and I've started
okay,
doing that, and that I feel like I have more control with that. That's what you're
okay. Yeah,
using.
that's what I use. I like the
Yeah.
little painter blades.
Mhm.
And I also like the holders. The problem for me is that I often switch blades fairly quickly
Mhm.
and I clean my blades. The holder for me, it's harder to clean the blade.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
No,
like
I just started last week, with the no holder, and
uh-huh.
I feel like I have more control over it,
Yeah,
but I'm
I
still
agree.
learning.
I agree with
Yeah.
that. I mean, I used to even use like duct tape just to make the handle, just to give my fingers a little bit more to hold on to.
Mhm.
So, okay, so this one I think is getting close, but like it's like these areas that you want to open up. Let's see if I can get this to
Well, it's the flower. I definitely
yeah,
wanna
it's like,
work on that.
but
Yeah.
like not all of it, like
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
like here, maybe just parts of it open up, right?
Oh, okay. Alright.
So, and then like maybe a little bit of opening here, and then let this now what you can do with these other parts is
Mhm.
that you can apply pigment stick or pan pastel to the
Mhm.
surface to kind of shade them. So
Should
like
do some
here,
shading.
yeah,
Yeah.
like here with like you pick the
Yeah.
side, so all of these go dark. You can see it in
Mhm.
the photo. It's like oh sorry. Use the photo to kind of give you
Yeah. Yeah.
right. So if all of those go dark, right?
Mhm. Same there. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because right now it's just one color.
Yeah.
So, but you want to get in here and kind of make this look like a flower. I mean, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Outside line here,
Yeah.
outside line, right?
Mhm.
In here a little bit, in here, and then it'll be beautiful. Also, like all I like this lighter and this darker. Like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is a great spot right here. Is
Okay.
beautiful. This is a nice spot up here. This could go a little bit darker, but this is a nice spot. I mean, I think this has a lot of potential.
Mhm. Now so my goal on this, and I like I said, I could start another one and have it more translucent and
Uh-huh.
caustic color,
Uh-huh.
and I can work on this. But my goal was to do that final encaustic wash that you did with the um so I have to scrape this back first before I can put on that last encaustic
Yeah.
wash.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
I would. I mean, if there's a photo under there, you need to bring it back. So it's like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
50-50. So you're kind of like it's like literally transforming from photo to painting within
Mhm.
that area.
I
So like
love that look that you had with it, and yeah, and with the subtle changes in the colors. I thought, well, I want to try and get that.
okay.
Yeah, good.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, let's look at this one.
This same thing.
This one's nice. I like this one.
I do too. And actually the photo itself, it doesn't really look like anything, but I thought it might work as a guide, and I think it has. So this one was toned also. You can see that white, kind of that white glow behind the middle pink flower. That's the tone. I didn't touch that. That's the tone that's underneath. It's kind
It's
of a
really
yellow.
pretty.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like that. So
So
this also, all I did, it's only wax and caustic, and it's really thick, but I actually like what was
no, I love
happening.
it. I love it. So what I wouldn't touch I mean, I wouldn't touch this with any more wax.
Okay.
I would just be like, wax is over. So what's happening for me is like here.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on one second. Here, this is just too.
It's blobby. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
blob.
two
Yeah.
one color. It's like here
Mm-hmm.
two one color. Like
Okay.
this is nice because this is dark green, this is light green, right? This is dark
Mm-hmm.
green, this is light
Mm-hmm.
green. It's like this is good. I see you really thinking about that. Now
Yeah.
these guys are also a little bit too one color.
Blobby.
So this
Okay.
one,
So
like
do some shading.
yeah, I mean, and honestly, like a lighter color, or
Mm-hmm.
what I do is if I have like a lot of this color, I
Mm-hmm.
take this color and put it over here.
Oh, right. Start bouncing the
Yeah, I
okay.
start
Yeah.
bouncing the colors because honestly, like just adding another shade of orange is just gonna
Mm-hmm.
not really.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a little bit. Like this area is super nice over here, and this
Mm-hmm.
area is good. You have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of very strong areas. Like I think you handled this complexity very nicely, and the flowers look great. I mean, you could even take this darker color red and put a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of that in here,
Okay.
like like right in here,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right, or right in here,
Mm-hmm.
right in here. Like that might be nice. This like whatever magenta, darker red color is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good. Okay. I had
And
forgotten about that.
and
Yeah.
then a little bit, a little bit of white, like is there, white here, white like at the top, right? Like white, you know what I'm saying? Where the
Yeah.
highlights kind of lighten up, that could be helpful.
So
And
the
I
areas where I'm bouncing the pink and and the red and that center flower,
uh-huh.
I use pigment stick, mix the pigment stick color to put in and not do any more wax and caustic
I
now?
said, yeah, absolutely no more wax. You can't do that type of
Okay.
detail work or
Yeah.
highlighting and shadowing with encaustic.
Okay.
This is not gonna happen.
Okay.
Really have to use pigment stick or pan
Mm,
pastel or a woody crayon. I mean, you have to use something lighter that's not going to alter or disturb what's happening underneath. Because
oh,
you don't
okay.
want like wax disrupts wax. It's like, once you
Too
add
much.
more wax,
Yeah.
you're basically making the whole thing kind of unstable
Mhm.
by adding the heat element and
Mhm.
the weight of the other medium. So
Mhm.
it's better just to like, you know, stop when you've got it
That makes
good
sense.
and
Yeah.
know when to stop with the
Yeah.
wax and switch
Yeah.
gears to something
Mhm.
else. Um,
Mhm.
I always kind of think of it as like being able to like know when to switch tools. Like if you're
Yeah.
doing a project and it's like, okay, I'm going to use this tool to get to this point, and then I can't use that tool anymore because everything's too fragile. I have to use a lighter weight tool. I have to use something a little bit
Mhm.
easier.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense.
And your
So I
sky is good. I mean, I like the way it goes from light here to darker blue. I like this area.
all all that was the picture. I mean, that's not well, I mean, it's just the
I mean,
wax
it's
and
great.
cost.
I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I mean, and when something's beautiful and looks good, there's no reason you're not obligated to add more to it just
Mhm. Well,
because
this one's wait, could you go back to that one? I have one
yeah,
other question.
of course. Yeah, let me go back.
Yeah, yeah. Just it's a
Sure.
little question, but
Yeah.
okay. So when I was toning the wax, I put down a couple of little markers instead of incising. They just, it marks the toning. So see that little spiral that's on the left
Yeah,
side?
I like it. Yeah.
that's okay to leave that there? Because I wasn't sure if
Yeah.
it was distracting. Okay,
No,
so
I like it.
that was, an egg beater, and then the 2 little things, that was a fork. I was just playing around with it. So that's okay to put those in. Okay.
I think so. I think
I
it's
think
fine.
okay, great,
I mean,
thanks.
you could make it a little bit softer by blending over top of it with a pigment stick. If you put
Okay,
a
just a
new
little,
the
just blend
same
it.
color, yeah. And the thing for me about the pigment sticks is uh these little these little areas,
Mhm.
of
Oh, yeah.
of depth. If you put a little bit of this color blue
Oh,
pigment
cool.
then you kind of give it more dimension. Right now, they would not be seen from far away,
Right.
but if you want them to kind of have more of a role in the artwork as being textured surface, you
Okay,
could put pigment stick in there.
okay, got it.
Yeah, okay. And
Thanks.
I love the way the pigment stick looks on the wax. I mean, that has to be that's
Mhm.
are you
Yeah,
ready?
this was unusual for me because I prefer the pigment stick, but I said, "No, you need to work with the encaustic color, to
No, you
get
don't.
that."
You really
Well, I
don't.
mean, for me to learn the
You
technique, that's
okay, but you really I mean, you really have to go with what you're more comfortable with and what makes you happy and what you like
mhm,
the results of. There's no reason I mean, using a little bit of encaustic wax and understanding it, I totally respect that. I mean, that's how
mhm,
I feel too, like, I should know how to do it and da da da, but you have to remember that everything has its hierarchy and its
mhm,
purpose, and if
mhm,
it's not serving you,
mhm.
don't use it. Like, if it's not pleasing you, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just
Yeah,
the nature of the beast. It's not an
yeah.
easy medium to work with, and it's not easy to fine tune or manipulate or control.
Well, and what I found was I was making it too opaque. So, I mean, it was just a good learning. Good. Okay.
Right, right. So that just comes with practice and also remember to test it. So what I do is I keep a lot of
I did I did
scrap.
I did test it, and I
Okay.
liked the color, but I forgot whatever color is, it's gonna be darker. It's like when you're,
Oh,
painting.
printing. Yeah, it's gonna look darker than
Yeah,
yeah.
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 So, anyway, so yeah, no, it was really good for me to do these exercises.
Good.
No, I enjoyed it. So this one has been totally overworked. I mean, I've been working on this since August, with a picture, with a subject, without a I mean, so but anyway, stop. This is the end of it.
Well, I think it's good. I think you've got a couple issues. I mean, one,
Mhm.
I think that this area down here,
Oh, it's so
uh,
blobby. The
this area down here it just is too it's just too
still
hard.
isn't
It's
working.
just too harsh. There's no
Okay.
great,
Mhm.
I mean, it's just not this line is just too, but look, even if I just put like this color here,
Mhm.
that I mean, that's better.
Yeah, I see what you're doing. Okay.
I mean, and then, like you could put a little bit of that color in other
That's it.
places,
Okay. Mhm.
right? Do you see how you could use like
Yeah.
this salmony
A little
color and
more.
just kind of like,
Mhm.
right,
Mhm.
bring attention to these flowers, which if you put a lighter color in here, like it's literally this color,
Mhm.
and you
Mhm.
put it over here and over here, it kind of it makes it look like the light from this is spilling onto this,
Bouncing on. Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
it's making this go back.
Mhm.
Right? And
Mhm.
then but this doesn't make sense. So if this is so dark, why is this why is this so bright, right? Like this should be a little bit darker. And then
Uh, Wait, let's see. Because it's backlit, we decided that the darker ones are
yeah,
coming
but
forward.
just a little bit. You have to do more of
Yeah.
a little bit more of a gradient, right? Like
Okay.
if you look at a gradient, it
Mhm.
doesn't just go from dark to light. It goes
Yeah.
dark,
Okay.
darkest, darker, dark, dark, light, light, dark, lighter,
Okay.
lightest, right? Like it goes through. So here, I think this transition is just a little bit too
Sloppy.
abrupt. There's
Yeah.
actually, it's just like too much of the mid-tone. Like there should be
Mhm.
a little bit darker, like up to here,
Okay. Okay.
right? And
Mhm.
then go lighter. And then this is the lightest. That's fine. This is fine. The top still like looks great. I mean, this whole part of it looks amazing. And
Maybe we
I
should cut it again.
no, no, no.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'll learn. I'll learn.
No, and
Okay,
this
okay.
part looks amazing too. I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you got to just work on this. And honestly, this is where you could go, and this is something I'm working on a piece right now, and I'm having the same sort of problem where I have one area that's really, really good, and I don't know what to do with the other area because I don't want it just to be like blank.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I think that having the confidence for an area just to be literally blank or
Mm-hmm.
empty is okay. I think it just takes confidence. So technically, like, what would this look like if this whole
Nobody just took it out. Yeah.
well, or it was just really quieted down, like that you weren't you
Yeah, because we
like
still have that problem. It's too busy. Yeah.
so what if this whole
Mhm.
area just went darker? I mean, it would make sense if it was just what if this green just went over this
Okay.
like a
Okay.
dark, but you have to be careful on what color. You don't want it like too
Mm.
bright green.
So gray, put some grays in to tone it down.
Maybe.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe greeny gray and just tone it like all the
Gray.
way
Yeah.
like this way, that I don't know.
So
I
Granny's doing greeny gray.
Granny's greeny gray. I
One
mean,
thing.
you did use quite a bit of purple up here. I kind of wonder if it
Mhm.
shouldn't be
Some a little bit bouncing down, but not that glob of flower, that purple flower. I still don't like it. Yeah.
I think that flower just needs to go. So the question is,
Okay.
how does it go? Do you go over it or take it off? So again, those are your, that's like, it's literally like
Okay.
coming to a Y in the road. Do you go right or do you go left? What the hell is going to happen on the road right? And
Okay.
what the hell is going to happen on the road left? So your choices are heat it up and scrape it off
Mm-hmm.
or add another layer and try to subdue
I
it.
think because this has been worked so much, I mean, there is a picture of a dancer under there. So if I
Right.
scrape it, it's going to be, so I'm going to cover it up. And
And
then,
what about using your masking tape? What about using the
oh,
masking tape and literally like or
okay.
cutting a handmade stencil,
Yeah.
like a square,
Yeah. Yeah.
like what about making
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And then I have a greeny gray, and then I pick up some of the purple. There's a little flower on the right side, but
wait, I want to
just
show
a
you
little.
something. I want to show you
Okay.
something for a second.
Yeah.
So I think I'm not sure if I showed you this painter, but he's like he's like one of my favorite painters. You know, like, do you ever just feel like there's some days where you're like, even if you love your own work, you're still like, I just wish I was this other artist. Like, I wish I was somebody else. So,
Oh, lots of texture. Wow. Huh. Oh, there's a square. There's a rectangle. Wow, that's interesting.
so these are really interesting. This must be his new work. These look like they're like made out of foam. I haven't seen a lot of this work
That
before.
looks like distressed wood. Yeah. Yeah,
This wasn't the work I wanted to show you, but hang on a second.
but it's interesting because it's using the rectangle, you know, square. Ooh, that's cool.
These are really pastel for him. I've never seen him do pastels.
Mhm. Mm.
This is not what I wanted to show you, but what I was
Interesting.
kind of going at is his background is in landscape painting.
Wow, what now he's really abstract. Wow,
He's
what a
really abstract, but hold on, let me show you his older work.
okay. I'm writing his name down too.
So, but I think that all of the decisions that he's making are coming from his deep understanding of the landscape.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
what I was going to try to say is that like when he does let's just say like this landscape
Mm-hmm.
for example,
Mm-hmm.
like there's a horizon line. See here, there's a
Oh, yeah.
horizon line
Right.
of green. That's what I was trying to say.
Mhm.
So,
I
do
see.
you see
Yeah.
how if you made a horizon line of green here, that
Yeah.
this would be the foreground of some flowers?
Yeah.
The garden would be in front of you, but you would be in someone's yard. Like there would be a yard here.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? I see what's happening now, and it's almost working, is that this is like a hydrangea type flower.
Right. Right.
But do
Right.
you see how this green is in front of the hydrangea?
Right. Yeah, because it's backlit. Yeah, it's almost like it's one side is backlit and the other side is it's normal. Yeah,
Right.
actually, that's what's disturbing. I think that's what's disturbing about it.
Well, actually, I'm kind of liking this flower, but what I'm seeing is it okay? Do you see how you could draw a horizon line in
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Right.
So forget about. Let's see if I can get rid of this. So forget about that line. Do you see this? I'm gonna draw. This
Yeah.
is the horizon line.
Yeah.
And what you can do is leave this flower here. It's coming forward, but if
Mhm.
you let me see if I can do it. I'm gonna see if I can actually do it. Hold on.
There is a line. There's a green line just under where your orange thing is. You see that? And that may have been where the picture was.
Uh-huh.
You see, it's very faint, but there's already a line.
I'm
Yeah.
wondering if you tried to, like, if you just fill, do you see, if you
Oh,
fill,
I see what you're doing. Huh. Oh, feel it. Yeah.
if you put green behind the purple
Yeah.
flowers,
Yeah.
would
That's
it
good.
make it look like that the green is behind and it would push the purple flowers forward? It could be a greeny gray. And then this is like in the background.
So don't take out the hydrangea. I actually
Do
kind
you
of
see
like
what I'm doing? But I think that
that.
would work. And you would do it with a pigment stick. You would not do it with wax.
Okay. So I wouldn't be covering because I could keep blending it off the purple stencil of the
Yeah, you
flower.
would just,
Yeah.
yeah. I think you need to add another color to the hydrangea, and then I think you need to do,
I could
um,
put some blue, some
now
pops of
you could
blue.
do a translucent glaze of a light green over the whole thing,
Oh
and
yeah.
then remove the light green on this flower.
That's the easiest, isn't it?
Probably, if you can do
Yeah.
it.
Okay. I also, I was kind of intrigued by having that square, and taking the flower out. But okay,
It's
so there are
it's
possibilities. Okay, there are different possibilities.
right, it's just like in a weird way, it's almost like I want your flowers on top of this landscape painting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah. Because
you see,
yeah.
and do you see how your
Mhm,
color, like look how you have like light blue here
he's
and
got
like
yeah.
a more, if you could put more light blue up here and it would match this sky. And then
Mhm,
see how he's toning the green? Like your green is pretty good actually. If you look at this,
mhm.
it's pretty nicely toned. It's a little heavy at the bottom. It's a
Yeah,
little bit
but
maybe even too
he's
dark at the
got
bottom.
it's like his is like a pea soup green. Yeah.
Yeah, and you gotta kind of see how he uses shading to create
Mhm.
perspective.
Cool.
That's what he really does, is he uses
Shading for
shading
perspective.
to
Uh-huh.
create distance into the painting. So he's using the shading so that you're like walking through this cliff
I see it. Yeah.
and then
That's
you're right. So it's like you can follow some of his formulas by just studying his painting.
and that's where his landscape work really comes in. That's how it. Yeah.
These paintings just really move me. I mean, emotionally, I mean, they're just so
Mhm.
they're
Yeah.
they're really just so they're like actually some of my favorite paintings, these
Wow.
landscapes.
You've opened up a whole world of paintings for me. With the who's the Polish artist or the
Oh yeah, Ansel Keeper.
his work, and then the French,
Yeah.
and I thought I knew, I know the basic artists, but these new modern ones, this is all new for me. So it's cool.
Yeah, he's one of my yeah, I love these paintings.
Wow.
I love
Reindeer darkening. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
Okay.
I like that's a whole nother way of progressing with that.
Well, and you have to remember that in like this painting is fighting you tooth and nail for you to create a hierarchy. So that was like I told Rory that was like my word of the week last week was this word hierarchy. But I think in art it's so important because you have to sort of have one part of the painting that's more important than the rest of the painting.
Well, and the other thing
They
is
can't all be competing for the
well,
same
yeah,
amount.
it's all so busy, it's and I love your idea of having those open spaces, more space. That's what I was trying to do with that last photo, where there's a lot of space up at the top and then it's kind of busy down at the bottom.
Right. So you're making it harder for yourself because you're using color and detail. So colors are going to compete with each other. That's just what they do. And then if you have more than one object that's also sharp, they're going to be competing too. And then you have all the texture of the wax competing. So you have a lot of
colors,
colors compete, textures compete, and objects like details compete. So
well,
here
and
you
also dark and light. I don't know if you're counting those as color, but just
I'm counting those as colors.
okay.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
I mean, right, like who's in front and who's behind. But in order for a painting to function, the hierarchy has to happen and somebody does have to take the lead and somebody has to fall behind. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So we decided that this area in the center was the hierarchy. So everything else in the painting should be dull or darker or not as intense. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes a lot of sense. But like I look at those flowers on the left, they're not dull, but they're darker. I look on the right, I love the texture of that. I just love that texture, so that's another competition. And then down at the bottom, it's just way too much going on. So yeah, I see. Interesting.
I mean, we decided that this. Oh, wait, I didn't mean to do that. We decided that this was the sweet spot, right?
That's the star, right?
Right, that's the sweet spot. So everything else should be dull in comparison. And dulled down by either a layer of clear wax or scraping back or or a darker color, right?
Okay. All right, that's good. That's good for me to work on.
All right, let's see. And there's one more, right? Is there one more?
Yeah, so I did another one, the woman in the water. Okay, so I had totally destroyed the dress because I ironed it too hot. So I just, all right, get back in there. This is not the one where you said stop. I still have that. That's a monotone and I like it. But this one, so I started putting, well, I fixed the dress and I basically like it. And then you had said put a little brown, lighten that area, it's opposite her face, that's the light source, lighten that. I did that. And then you were saying that put a little brown in because the yellow was too sharp. And then I don't know, these cool things were happening. I love this texture.
I know, I love it.
Brown and green. And even these other things were flowers before. Yeah, I tried it. I don't like it that way now. It just doesn't make sense to me. To me, it looks like she's walking. That's why I flipped her. But you can see where I was blending in the pigment stick and all that. So it still needs work. I think
it's really beautiful. I think I'm confused a little bit about what's
right. That originally was a flower and now it just looks like some blob over her head.
Right. So just leave it and paint it blue. Just blue.
Okay.
Blue pan pastel or blue. Just blend it. So part of this too is sort of like blending or
Mhm.
getting things to work well together, right?
Mhm.
Blending.
Yeah, they're too, they're too blocked off, yeah.
Right.
So
I
the
agree. I really like this piece. I mean, I would just add a little bit more blue in here.
okay, on
I
top.
also feel like you need a light source. Like this is, I don't know what's going on here, but I like it. Like I just think texturally it's,
Yeah, that was the rock, when she's lying down in the
yeah, I would
pool.
leave it. I mean, honestly, Pam, I feel like this is like a work of art. And I
I
think that it's
I feel like it's
whatever the
supposed
hell is
to.
going on, I don't care. I like it, and I think it's working for you. I love her hair. I
Mhm.
love the bottom of the dress. I love how it transformed its orientation. It almost looks like a drone shot of the
Hmm.
earth. Like
Oh my gosh.
this is like
Oh,
land and this is the ocean and
oh
she's like
wow.
floating. I mean, I think it's
Gaia or something like that. Oh, that's cool.
yeah. I mean, I,
Neat.
I mean, I would just I would just leave it. I think it's beautiful. The only thing I'd say is I would get rid of this.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it should just
Wow.
go like watch, I'll do it. Wait, it's kind of fun to do this, but like hang on. Like look, if I just take like a
A gray blue
oh,
tone.
that's green. Why is that green? That is so weird. That's not supposed to be green. Hello. Blue. Blue.
Huh.
I don't really understand how to use this, as you can tell. Oh,
I have to say these pictures that you send me with the circles, it really helps. I just put
I
it in
know.
front of
I
me and
agree.
it's like my
I love
chart.
it. Yeah, it's
It
great.
works really well.
I agree. We're so smart. Okay. I don't know why this is doing this. I don't want you. I want you. And all right, but anyway, we're just gonna
I
pretend
I
it's
I understand
blue.
what you mean. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
if I do it after the fact.
Blend it in. So take it with the pigment stick,
Yeah, just pigments
blend
to
it
just
in.
yeah,
Yeah.
just so it's not like just a little, just so it's not
Mm,
like that's even better, right? Just so it's not
yeah.
dominating anything.
Yeah.
And
I was
so
thinking
the
about
only
putting, yeah.
her hand here, like I
Yeah.
would shade under her arm a little bit,
Okay. Okay.
just because her arm is kind of lost right here, just a tiny little bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then this could go,
That was kind of the light source.
yeah, a little bit later, like a little bit,
Even lighter. Okay.
yeah, just see a little bit later, like a little
Okay.
bit.
What about the blue that's around her, that's defining her dress? I mean, should
No,
I?
I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I mean,
Okay, not too much.
you could put a little blue in her skirt, but I mean, it's fine.
Okay.
She's popping forward in the blue. That's what I'm saying. It's like she looks like she's not off the background, so that's good. Pam, I just think it's really a beautiful piece for you.
I was happy with it. I felt, oh, there's still stuff. I know Leia will have things for me to do, but
You know what's funny is I actually don't mind the green.
that's another right.
I wouldn't don't do
Yeah,
green, but you could do a bluey green, but don't do
yeah,
green. I mean, but
yeah.
it doesn't look bad, the green in the painting.
Well, and I like that. I mean, you've been teaching us, to have the canvas one side dark, one side light. So I like that part
Yeah, I
also.
like that part too.
Yeah.
I
Um,
really do like that part. Or top and bottom, but I mean, yeah, I like how you switch the
with
orientation.
the yeah.
I mean, I still think it could fly like this, but I like it vertical too.
I don't know. Well, I guess because I know the original, but well,
I
good. So
still
this
think it
was, yeah,
I think I'm so impressed with this. I just think it's really, really beautiful. And I
good.
think it's
Good.
authentic to you. And I think it's I love this all these bubbles, the whole I love this texture here. I love this texture. I love whatever. I love just the wax sort of being
Mhm.
waxy and I like the way you handled the dress. I just think it's really good.
Thank you.
I would do very little, like the
Yeah,
ones,
just leave. Okay, don't
yep,
overdo
just
it.
get rid of this thing.
Okay, and the
Don't
light
scrape
source.
it or burn it. Don't heat it
Right.
or scrape it. Just add a little bit of blue to just blend.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. That was interesting because I can't tell you, it was totally the dress was totally destroyed. And I said,
No, that's really
okay,
good. No.
all right, here we go. So the last time we talked, it was very helpful for you to say, just, do some things that you really, that are fun for you. And
Yeah.
that helped me with the dress,
Well, yeah, because you can't create that sense of like dread, right? Or
yeah, right.
fear, because then you're not gonna like try hard. You're gonna be
Mhm.
like, oh, this, I don't,
That's
this
confined.
is, yeah, it's
Mhm.
scaring me. I'm not good enough. We do have those. I mean, you're a confident woman and you're super accomplished and smart. So you have a little bit of mojo, you have, strength, and here you are in a new genre, a new arena. So, but finding something that's just fun and
Mhm.
relaxing is just going to give you more confidence.
Yeah, I mean, there have been lots of times where I've invested, quite a bit of time into something, and I see the fear coming up. It's like, there's a
Uh,
fear, and then I have to get over that. So,
right, and
thank
don't forget the wax. Don't forget, I mean, wax. Consider wax, like a bully, like an obnoxious big brother, right? That
you.
wants to like ruin your photo, and just be like, I'm going to use you. I'm going to
Yeah,
use you cautiously and sensitively and lightly until I get to know you better, because I don't trust you, right? I don't, you
that's
know,
why these abstract florals really helped. Yeah, just break it down. Yeah, good.
right.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
Well,
All
thank
right,
you.
so I totally catch me up. Like, where are we? I owe you prints. I'm gonna print tonight or tomorrow and mail them probably mail them probably Wednesday.
Okay, that'd be
Mail.
great.
And
This is our last class for this
okay,
session, this grade.
okay. Well,
So what
maybe
I'd
you want
like,
to take a break. I mean, it's fine with whatever you,
well, I'm thinking,
because
I am not leaving until, what's this? Like, I have 2 more weeks here. So,
uh-huh.
um,
And then where are you going?
then I'm going to LA to be with, well,
With your daughter, with your big grandson?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
good.
and go and help them out a bit and all that stuff.
Well,
But,
why don't we start up again when you get back, or when
we could do
you're,
that, or
yeah.
I could say, we could do one next week, start another session, do one next week, so I kind of finish off what we've talked about here.
Okay. Yes, we could finish on the 21st, Sunday, and
Right.
then the 28th I'm busy, and then March I actually enrolled in a conference in March, and I'm taking Rory
Whoa.
Rory away. Rory's going to college. My
Wow.
son's going to college. Yeah.
Good. I was gonna
Yeah.
add, so he's doing better.
Oh, that's my older son. No, he's never going to go back to college
Oh,
probably.
okay. Oh,
No, my younger son is going to go to college.
oh, okay. So okay. Well,
No,
congratulations.
my older son, I think, is doing better, but still does not know what he's doing.
Mhm.
That's
Just
fine.
a struggle. Yeah.
It's gonna be hard for him to figure out what he's gonna do.
Yeah. Hmm. Well,
But I think he's feeling better. I think the medicine's working, and I think he's
good.
in a
Good.
better place. So
Good.
that's helpful.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, so yeah, let's do the 21st. Let's just do one session, which is like
Right.
$50 or whatever. And
Oh, instead of, because
yeah,
I don't
instead of,
mind paying ahead, and say, oh, we'll pick it up again in April when I mean, it could be March or whenever you don't have that,
well,
whenever
that's
you have
fine
it.
with, that's all, that's you and if you want to do that, then I'll just owe you 3 more classes, and that's totally fine with me. I would love that, but if you don't want to be that committed, you can just contact
No,
me.
yeah, okay. But are you thinking you will not be available in all of March because you have this?
I will be available. Yeah, March is a wipeout for me
Yeah,
because
okay. All right.
how long are you going to be in LA?
Well, I won't be there that long, but the question is, am I going to go the first part? It has to do with whether I get my second COVID shot or not. I may have to go in the second part of March. So what I'd like to do is just get one more thing under my belt next on the 21st with you, and
Mhm.
then we'll take a break in March, and I'll just work, whenever when I'm home. That's fine. And then the idea would be to start up again in April, and it'll be warmer. It'll be easier.
Mhm.
Does that work?
Yeah, I mean, I'm teaching 2 workshops in March, the 20th virtual ones, the 20th to 21st, and the 13th and 14th. I could possibly meet with you on Fridays.
Well, the thing is, I don't know my schedule yet.
Okay.
I mean, the idea is I'm going to go February 25th to LA, but if I can't get my shot, everything, I have to turn everything around. So
well, why don't we talk? We'll both know more next week. Why don't we just talk next Sunday and see what our schedules are looking like?
Exactly.
I can fit you in if our schedules align. There's just March is going to be just a little bit crunchy, and then April is like wide open. So
yeah, probably. I mean,
and May also.
I have a lot to work on. So even if we, just to give you a breather, we don't do anything in March, and then April we start. And you were going to say May?
I'll have time for you in May. I'll have time for you in April and May and June, July.
Yeah. Okay.
For whatever reason, just because I'm doing a 4-day conference the first weekend of March, and then 2 back-to-back weekend workshops, and then I'm going. I can work with you while I'm away. I just won't be in my studio, but I'm happy to talk to you about your work if you want to.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
because I'm literally taking 6 boys to a house so that they can just be boys, and I just I'm the only female, I'm the only adult, so I'm going to be by myself just watching that they don't burn down the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I allow you to focus on that.
I don't need to. I just physically need to be there.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to talk to you during that time because I will be very. Yeah. And okay. So that's the end of the month, and so let's just say maybe we take a couple week break, but let's talk next Sunday. Okay.
Yeah. So Sunday and 1:30.